You know, there are these invisible technologies all around us, quietly making our world safer, smarter, even better. There's this one powerful sensor that's probably in a device near you, or in the very streets you just passed, but most people have never, ever heard of the company that makes it. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain on a company called Terasilic.
All right, let's just start with a number. 60%. More than 60%. Now, just let that sink in for a second. What on earth could have that kind of a dominant global share? A new social media app, maybe? Some kind of coffee? No, this number, it represents a massive, massive footprint in a market that's just exploding right now.
And there it is. We're talking about over 60% of the entire global market for micromobility radar. You know, the tech that keeps e-bikes, scooters, and cyclists safe on our super busy streets. And yeah, one company is just quietly running the show. So, it's time to formally meet the company behind that incredible number. Who exactly is Terasilic? Well, they're a company that, since they were founded back in 2016, has just shot up to become the global leader in this really specific but absolutely critical field of technology.
And when you look at who they are, you see this really solid foundation. I mean, Terasilic isn't just some startup with a cool idea. They're a Taiwan-based maker of mmWave radar chips, and get this, they've got the backing of a semiconductor giant, Pixart Imaging, which itself is part of the massive UMC group. That gives them some serious manufacturing muscle, and they use it to serve over 200 customers all over the world.
Okay, so we know who they are, but what do they actually do? Let's zoom in on a problem that's super relatable for pretty much anyone who's ever been on two wheels: making cycling safer.
I mean, this is the fundamental question, right? If you're a cyclist, you have to know what's going on around you, especially what's coming up from behind. But how do you do that reliably? I mean, when it's pitch black out, when it's pouring rain, or when you've got the sun glaring in your eyes. That exact challenge is what their technology was built to solve.
And the answer is something called mmWave radar. Now, put simply, it's a sensing technology that sends out these tiny electromagnetic waves. When those waves hit an object, say a car coming up behind you, and bounce back, the sensor can instantly figure out how far away that car is and exactly how fast it's moving. Pretty cool, right?
And this comparison just lays it all out, and it's why radar is the perfect tool for this job. A camera? It could be totally blinded by bad weather or darkness. But radar? It works flawlessly. Rain, fog, dead of night, it doesn't matter. That reliability is absolutely everything. And, as a huge bonus, it detects presence and speed without capturing any images, so you completely sidestep all those privacy concerns.
So this one piece of tech enables this whole suite of safety features. They call it Advanced Rider Assistance Systems, or ARAS. We're talking alerts for cars coming up from behind, warnings for somebody in your blind spot, even notifications if a car passes way too close. It's really no surprise that top brands like Wahoo, Sigma, and Giant are all building this tech right into their gear.
But, and this is where it gets really interesting, the story of this technology doesn't stop in the bike lane, not even close. The very same ideas that make cyclists safer are now being used in all sorts of other places, changing everything from our city streets to our own living rooms.
Just think about smart streetlights for a second. You can embed one of Terasilic's radar sensors in there, and now the light knows if a person or a car is approaching. It can brighten up when needed, then dim down, saving a ton of energy while making things safer. And because their tech is compatible with major standards like Zhaga and NEMA, which are basically like universal plugs for city infrastructure, it's super easy to integrate. Cities can even use all this data to figure out which intersections are dangerous before accidents even happen. And then it gets even more personal. In our homes and our offices, this same radar can detect human presence with incredible accuracy. This means you can have truly smart automation. Lights that turn on the moment you walk into a room, and often you leave, or thermostats that adjust without you ever touching them. And that's exactly why big names like Sony and Logitech are using this tech in their own smart ecosystems.
So you don't just stumble into a 60% market share. That doesn't happen by accident. So how did Terasilic pull it off? How did they build such a dominant position in this market? Let's break down the core strengths that really give them that competitive edge.
It really boils down to three key pillars. First, like we said, that backing from Pixart. That gives them legit automotive-grade manufacturing power. Second, it's their own proprietary tech. And it's not just the radar itself, but the really clever way they fuse its data with other sensors. And third, you've got the people, a deep bench of over 50 R&D and engineering experts.
Okay, let's look closer at that tech, because this is the secret sauce. It's a concept called heterogeneous sensor fusion. Now, it sounds complicated, but the idea is actually super cool. They combine the data from their radar with data from other sensors, like an IMU, that's an inertial measurement unit. It measures motion. It's basically like giving the system two different ways to see the world at the same time, which gives you a way more accurate and reliable picture of what's really happening.
And this just puts their scale into perspective. That core team of more than 50 experts, that's the engine driving the innovation that's trusted by over 200 customers all across the globe. It's that deep expertise that lets them keep pushing the boundaries of what these tiny little sensors are capable of.
So where do they go from here? I mean, a company with this kind of a lead isn't just sitting on its hands, right? Let's take a little sneak peek at their product roadmap to see what the future of sensing is going to look like.
A quick look at their roadmap shows they are not slowing down. They're making things even more robust for e-bikes, they're making the sensors even tinier for smart homes, and they're pushing into higher frequency radar. We're talking 77 gigahertz. That's going to allow for even more precise detection in really complex city traffic systems. They're just constantly innovating.
You know, what's truly amazing when you step back and look at it all is this. What starts as this tiny chip designed to solve a problem in one single bike lane scales all the way up to influence the safety and the efficiency of an entire smart city. It's just a powerful reminder of how a really focused technology can have a massive, massive impact.
And this right here, this is the core of their mission. Their official vision isn't just about selling chips. It's about enabling a better future. It's about safer travel, smarter cities, and more responsive places to live and work, all of it powered by their advanced radar tech.
And that kind of brings us to a final thought. We've seen this technology go from bikes to buildings. We've seen its potential to understand and react to the world around us with unbelievable precision. So, as our world keeps getting smarter and more connected, the real question is, what are we going to ask these tiny, powerful sensors to see for us next?